Hey guys, J Squared here. Today, we're going to be looking at some budget magnetic cubes. All these cubes came from speedcubeshop.com and were all below the price of $15 before shipping. All these cubes are magnetic, and to make this video short, all these cubes are tensioned the same, where it's tight enough where the cube can still corner cut, but loose enough to where the cube still feels good and speedy and balanced. These cubes are also lubricated the same, where the track pieces are lubricated with DNM37 and the pieces themselves are lubed with Lunar. I do personally like more of a faster cube, so that's why I lubricated the way that I did. I did do 1 drop of each in the cube. Anyway, let's go ahead and look at some budget cubes, starting with the Qi MS. This cube is pretty great for the price. It is a little clacky and loud, but that's okay. This is a budget cube, and with that, you will be noticing some budget features. The plastic is thin on these pieces, and the quality just feels very budget. This is a budget cube, and for what it's worth, it does handle pretty well. This is a sticker, so that does come off, which is honestly always great. The color schemes, I personally don't like the green. It's a little lighter than what I would want it to be, but that's okay. For what it's worth, this cube is a very great cube with moderate to light magnets, and if tensioned properly, this could be main worthy. Now taking a look at the Qi Wu Wei, the 3x3 magnetic cube, which out of the box does kind of look like the Qi MS. The sticker that it comes with is also removable, which is always really nice. The cube is very good and controllable. The magnet strength on this are a moderate strength, not too strong, not too light. This does handle well under use, actually a lot better than the Qi MS. So if you're planning on getting the Qi MS, try going for the upgrade of the Wu Wei 3x3. The color scheme is relatively the same, with that lighter green color that I personally don't like, but that's not really too big of an issue, especially if you get used to the cube. The color scheme is really nice for what it is. This is a little bit of a heavier cube. The pieces do feel a lot more premium in this cube compared to the Qi MS. They are a little thicker, and it does feel nice in the hands, a little more premium feel to the cube, so totally worth the buy, especially if you're looking for a budget magnetic cube. This thing does cut and turn really well actually, and I'm gonna have to have a little more fun with this cube and to see maybe which one could possibly be a main, because I really like this cube, to be honest. Now moving on with the Qi Thunderclap. This cube does not come with any accessories, just like the other two, which is fine. The Qi Thunderclap does come in a bit of a thicker feel. The pieces are nice, a little more premium, but this cube kind of handles the same as the Qi MS. It's a little hard to corner cut, which is fine because it still can, but it handles a little more like the Qi MS. But this cube does feel a lot better than the Qi MS. I personally like it better, especially with that, cuts it pretty well. The magnet strength does feel a little bit more on the lighter side with this cube, which is fine. There's some spring noise, which I need to take care of, but that's okay. And these pieces do feel nice. Definitely a cube worth looking at, especially if you're looking for buying a budget cube. Let's move on to the Yujin Little Magic M. The Little Magic M is a pretty nice beginner cube. The plastic did change from the original Yujin Little Magic to the mass-produced Little Magic M, so you're gonna have a little bit more of a less premium feel to this cube. The plastic does feel a little cheap, which is okay, but the pieces are still the same, and this cube still handles almost the same as the Yujin Little Magic, especially if you magnetize it yourself. This cube is really well, corner cut's great, and it is pretty stable. The magnets are more on the moderate strength, and personally I do like a stronger magnet on the Yujin Little Magic, but you probably can double up if you open this thing up, and that'll make it so much more better. This cube overall is great and a very good beginner friendly cube. Now we're moving on to the lesser known little brother, is what I like to call it, the Moyu Meilong 3M. This cube does come with accessories, which is a screwdriver, a stand, and of course the cube itself. Now the Meilong is actually a really great cube. It does only come with the screw and the spring, but that is always effective. So having all these dual adjustment spring compression systems isn't really all too necessary. This cube out of the box is actually really great, especially if you loop it the way that I did, which is of course 1 drop of DNM 37 on the tracks and 1 drop of lunar on the pieces themselves. This cube actually handles very well, and I personally really love the way that this cube handles. The pieces are more of a premium feel, which is amazing considering that the price of this cube is actually less than the RS3M 2020. So do keep that in mind. It is a great budget cube. I'm honestly quite surprised that this cube did not become too popular over the RS3M 2020. This cube has the exact same feel and for a lot less of the price than the cube. Yes, of course, it does come with the spring and the screw, and that's it, but that is always effective. You can finely tune your settings, giving you the perfect feel for a cube. Just like all the other cubes, this can corner cut really well. It actually handles really well. And the M slices are really smooth. Now we're going to be taking a look at the RS3M 2020. Whoops. Of course, you guys already know the accessories. Screwdriver, the tensioning tool, and that extra spring compression piece. Comes also with a stand. The RS3M 2020 is a great budget cube. The magnet strength is a little light for my feel, so do double up on this. There is a magnetic kit for this, which you can find at either shop that I've seen, and it's an extra set of magnets to help double up and strengthen the magnetic strength on this cube because it is a little light out of the factory. The handling is very well for this very cheap cube. Personally, I do like the Meilong a little better compared to this one. The M slices are pretty smooth. The one thing that I've noticed with the RS3M over time is that you do need to clean it a little more frequently than you would with a cube, and lubricate it a little more frequently, because over time the lubricant tends to dry out a little quicker on the RS3M, making it a little not as smooth as it should be for a cube. But overall, this is a great cube to get, and of course all these cubes are all under $15. Last but not least, the Diansheng. I've actually made a review on this, and you guys can totally check out the video, which I'll put right here. This cube is honestly amazing to me. It is super smooth, quiet. It gives me more of a GAN feel and just handles really well, especially that reverse corner cutting, basically line to line there. It is phenomenal. This cube is the lightest out of the bunch, but that's not really too big of an issue when it comes to 3x3 cubes. I know lighter cubes for some people can be a little too light and makes you overshoot when you're turning the cube, and so to me the weight on cubes doesn't really matter, but this cube is honestly perfect to me. The magnetic strength does feel a little more on the moderate to stronger side, but you don't really feel it when turning. The turning on this cube is just incredibly smooth, buttery smooth actually, and I tend to pick up this cube a little more often than I do with my GAN 11M Pro, but only when I want to do a little more slower controlled turning, because with this cube it's a little more squared off than the rest of them, so you tend to have these weird catches that I've explained in my video here. So that's something that you do want to keep in mind when turning this cube. You want to go for more lighter controlled turns, because you can overshoot. This cube is really smooth. You can overshoot, and it does have that weird catch, but other than that, this cube is phenomenal. I totally recommend this cube. It is under $15 and it is totally worth the buy. It also comes with a nice little bag and a screwdriver, but that's it for accessories. All in all, these cubes are actually really great, and if you're looking for a really good super budget cube, I totally recommend the Moyu Weilong. It's super controllable, super nice, super smooth, and really cheap. Like I said, it does only come with the screw and spring, but that's totally okay. It's not really a big issue. You do want to lubricate the springs because there are some spring noise, but the color scheme on this cube is, to me, absolutely perfect. It has a more of a darker scheme to it, allowing you to recognize the color pieces a little faster than you would on a lighter color scheme. So do totally buy the Moyu Weilong. Another recommendation would be the Wu Wei, the Qiyi Wu Wei. The color scheme is a little lighter compared to the Moyu Weilong, but that's totally okay. This cube handles pretty great for what it is. It is a lot better than the Qiyi MS, and to me personally, a lot better than the Qiyi Thunderclap. Of course, the Yujin Little Magic M is also another great budget cube. The plastic is a little different compared to the original Yujin Little Magic, but it still handles the same. This cube is quite fast, stable because the magnets are a good strength. It could be a little stronger, but that's okay. You can always double up on magnets if you open it up. I do recommend gluing the magnets on top of the magnet itself, because if you drop it, the magnet will jump from one side to the other and you don't want a stronger pull on one end. I know with one magnet being moved from one side to another won't really make a difference, but it's just a pet peeve of mine. If you do like a little more speed when it comes to cubes, do get the Diansheng V4M. Honestly, this cube is really fast, really smooth, and it is pretty controllable. The magnets are really great for this cube personally. It does come with a nice bag that you've seen so many times. Do keep in mind that this cube does cut a little strangely, only because the pieces are a little more squared off. Once you take off the pieces here themselves, you'll notice that the center is actually really squared off for what it is, compared to most cubes where they're squared off, but they kind of cone shape into the center itself, just like the Yujin Little Magic M there. So do keep that in mind. But honestly, all these cubes are great, especially within the $15 budget. But do totally check out the Wu Wei, the Weilong, and the Guhong, and surprisingly the Yujin Little Magic M, the mass-produced version. These cubes are super great, super budget friendly, and As for a main, if you want to main one of these cubes, these would totally be one of your best bets, especially for a more budget friendly option. As for me, my personal favorite out of all these, it'll have to be the Moyu Weilong, to be honest. The color scheme is absolutely perfect. This cube handles really well. The M slices are just so smooth. And all in all, this cube is just actually super great, especially that corner cutting. I mean, it's so great. The only thing I would have to get rid of is that spring noise, but that's okay. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. J Squared out. Peace.